Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Kendall. Today I'm going to be participating in the Let's Get Graphic Readathon and I'm so excited for it. It is all about getting graphic novels, manga, comics read in a 24-hour period, and it's going to be so much fun. It's today until tomorrow, so today's Friday, and it lasts through Saturday. So I've already gotten started and completed my first graphic novel. I was not ready this morning to get ready, so then I got ready after I finished my first one. So I have 6 books that I am ready to read for right now, or 6 graphic novels, which I am not going to introduce you to all of them because I am prepared to get through all of them, and I'll introduce you guys to them and what they are while I read them. So the first one that I've already completed this morning is Hollow. This is by Shannon Waters, Brandon Boyer White, and Berenice Nell, or Nellie. It might be Nellie. This one was so good. I've already rated it 5 stars. It's one of my favorite graphic novels now, I'm not gonna lie. I really enjoyed it. I love the color scheme. The artwork is gorgeous. And basically you have Izzy, who is in the middle here. She moves to this new town of Sleepy Hollow where, of course, that is where the Sleepy Hollow legend, the Headless Horseman legend is. It follows the Crane family and the Van Tassel, or Tassel family, however you want to say it. And it basically is just like modern day of what's going on after the legend has happened. Izzy is a Crane descendant, and her friend Vicky over here is a Van Tassel descendant. Vicky is all up in the publicity and things like that. Like, her family basically uses her as a ancestor reincarnation type thing because she looks exactly like her ancestor who was part of the legend. And Vicky moves to this town and she is getting to know why this legend is such a big deal here in Sleepy Hollow. And she's just discovering all sorts of things. And then she discovers the Headless Horseman is a real thing. And so she meets this new friend of hers as well. His name is Croc. I don't know why. He says it's because he's like a crocodile. But so these 3 set off on an adventure to kind of help the Headless Horseman and the town, and Vicky and Izzy start having feelings for each other, and Croc also finds himself a little relationship, and it's super cute. I thought it was really inclusive. It was so good. They even had like disability representation in here, which I really loved, and I thought it was so good. I love the tale of, or the legend of, Sleepy Hollow, so I thought this was a really good take on it. I was a little nervous because I don't like modern takes on classics, but I really enjoyed this one, and I'm so excited to keep reading. Okay, you guys, it is now 12:20. I'm waiting for my mom. She had to borrow my car, so I'm waiting for her to get back because I'm going to actually go and visit a used bookstore called Mr. K's that is near me. And they have What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall, which is a book I've been looking for. And they have it for $14. And I want to get it. So I'm going to go grab that there. And then I still have yet to pick up Immortality. And it came out Tuesday. So, I mean, it's not been out that long, but still, it's surprising that I haven't picked it up already. So I'm going to go pick that up. And I think I'm also going to pick up the 2nd volume of Heartstopper, because if I am able to fit it into this readathon, I want to be able to do that. So that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to come back home and get some more reading in. And then tonight, I'm supposed to go over to Olivia's house, and we were going to watch the first episode of Daisy Jones and the Six, and then join the reading sprints on Gwen's channel that the girls are going to be on reading, and we were going to do that and read together. So it's going to be a good time. Hopefully the weather holds up so that we are able to do that, because it's supposed to be really bad today. But I wanted to go ahead and show you guys the 2nd graphic novel that I'm about to read. It is Lightfall, The Girl and the Galdurian by Tim Probert, or Probert, however you want to say it. It's so cute. I don't know too much about it. I read this, I think, in my March TBR. Like, you probably know most of what these books are about, but it just says, in the land of Urpa, An ancient threat awakens, obsessed with plunging the world into eternal darkness. Luckily, Chance enlists two unsuspecting heroes to save the day. So, I'm assuming, I think it's B and Cad. Yeah, B and Cad. So I'm very excited about this. I'm about to go ahead and start reading it. It's got really cute graphics, and hopefully I'm able to get through this one. But I'll probably have to put this down, go to the bookstore, and then come back. So I will be back to update you guys with my thoughts on it. I also, before I forget, I wanted to let you guys know, like, the prompts going into this, just in case you don't know. The prompts are to read a book that has your favorite color scheme or color palette. And so I chose Hollow with all the turquoise and blues. And then I also chose Lightfall because it has, like, greens and yellows. And those are, like, my favorite colors. So that's what I chose for those. And then we have... You have choose a book with an animal on the cover, or in the story, or in the title, an animal kind of in the story or in the graphic novel or whatever you're reading. And then they also have a book with a one-word title. So I have 2 for each prompt. So I'm going to try and get through 6. But if I push myself really hard, I think that I can get through 10. So I'm going to try and get through 10 graphic novels in 2 days. We'll see how it works. So far I've gotten through 1 and it's 12:30 almost. So we're going to push ourselves and really try here. But I'm in the mood for all the graphic novels that I've picked. So I'm super excited about it, and we're just going to have a good time. So yeah, let's go to the bookstore. First things first, I'm going to show you guys what I got at the bookstore, or bookstores. I went to Mr. K's, which is a discount used bookstore that is near, like, a town over where I live. And so I went there and got a book. Well, got a few books. Then I went by Barnes & Noble. So let me just show you what I got. So my original plan was to go into Mr. K's and pick up What Lies in the Woods by K. Alice Marshall, because I've been wanting this book for a while. Ever since it came out, basically. And they had a book of the month version, which is a hardcover, for $14.50. So I had to go pick it up because normally it's $29, and I just needed to get this book at a good price, and it's in very good condition. But while I was there, of course, I looked around and ended up finding A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. This is also a book of the month edition, but it's a hardcover, and I've been wanting the hardcover version of this cover, and this was $14, and again in really good condition, and it's normally $28. And then I found Nevernight by Jay Kristoff. I have been wanting to get into this series so bad, and I just haven't picked up the books, but this one is a really good, like, a really good conditioned paperback book, and it was $5. So I would say that was successful. So I'm very glad about that little haul. Then I went to Barnes & Noble because there were 2 books that I wanted to pick up. One of those being... I wanted to go to Barnes & Noble because there was 2 books that I did want to pick up when I got paid today. And the first one being Heartstopper Volume 2 by Alice Oseman. I really wanted to get this one because I really enjoyed Heartstopper Volume 1, and this can go into the graphic novel readathon if I can fit it in, and I just want to try as best as possible because I really, really loved the first one. The other book that I really wanted to pick up was Immortality, a love story by Dana Schwartz. This is the second in the a love story trilogy, or I don't even know if it's a trilogy, a duology, I don't know, but it's after Anatomy, a Love Story that she wrote, and I really, really liked that one. It was a 5-star read for me, so of course I had to go out and pick out the second, so I'm very excited about that. I did end up wandering into the manga section, and I found The Girl from the Other Side Volume 2. This is a new series that I haven't started yet. I got the first one, but I have a feeling I'm really, really gonna like this one, and so I know these are kind of hard to get in, especially like the earlier editions or the earlier volumes, so I went ahead and picked up 2 while I was there just in case I do like it and get to it and yeah, can't find it, you know what I mean. And the last one I got, my friend Olivia showed me, and it's called The Invisible Man and His Soon-to-Be Wife, and it looks so cool, and it's all in like this blue color, and it's so pretty. So I think we might try and fit this one in today as well, because I did forget for a second that we can do mangas, not just graphic novels. So I'm excited. The weather is looking a bit gross outside, so I'm hoping that it clears up a little bit so that I can go over to Olivia's house, but it's not raining, it's just really, really windy. But I'm supposed to leave for Olivia's house in less than an hour, and hopefully it's not too bad, but we will see. We'll just have to see when we get there. But it's now like 4:30-ish, and I just now finished my second graphic novel, which is not bad. I've read 2 graphic novels today. I'm about to read my third. I'm going to try and finish my third before I go over there, which is totally doable. But the one that I just read is Lightfall, The Girl in the Galdurian by Tim Probert, or Probert. I'm not even gonna lie, this is like one of my new favorite graphic novels ever. 5 stars. It was so good. You have Bee who meets Cad, who is a Galdurian. Bee's grandfather goes missing, and Cad was actually looking for her grandfather, so they go on this adventure to find her grandfather, and they get into all this trouble, and they're trying to work together, and it ends really well, but it ends on a cliffhanger, so I need the second one like now. But the artwork and stuff in it is just so stinking pretty. I have to show you guys. The artwork in it is just amazing. Like, I also just want to live where they live, like in this little house. It's so cute. So far this readathon is a success with 2 5-star reads, so I'm going to go read my next one, which is 3. So I plan to read 3, and then I'm going to take the rest to Olivia's house tonight, hopefully. And during the girl sprints, I'm hoping to get through all 3 of the graphic novels that I have left, and that will be 6 today, and we'll see if I can fit in more tomorrow. But I'm going to go read my next one to go ahead and get in the game. Okay, so I forgot to get any footage at Olivia's house. I went over there, and I was there from like 6:30 to almost 12:30, and I got a lot of reading done. The girls did sprints last night from 8 to 12, so that really helped out a lot, and I enjoyed it, and I got so many books read. So I started Be Prepared by Vera Brosgol before I went over to Olivia's house, and I ended up finishing it while I was over there during the first sprint, and it was so cute. I gave it 5 stars. Okay, I feel like we needed to be a little closer. But I gave it 5 stars. It's about this girl. She is Russian, and she just doesn't feel like she belongs with her friends who are American. So she finds out from her church that there is this Russian camp, and like summer camp. So she goes, and she doesn't fit in, and she still feels out of place, and she hates it, but it is so funny. There's so many different adventures that go on in here, and she ends up finding a friend, and you know, she's kind of discovering herself and discovering what she's like and stuff, and it is so good. I wish that it would be a series, to be honest, but it was literally one of the funniest graphic novels I've ever read. One of my new favorites. I absolutely adored it. The next one that I picked up while I was over there was Seance Tea Party by Reimena. This one was, oh my gosh, another 5-star read. So we're following Laura, and Laura is kind of I guess what people would describe as like a gothic child, and she's really into like the dark, supernatural, scary things, and she just really does not feel like she fits in. But she starts making friends, and she meets this ghost that is living in her house named Alexa, and Alexa has had friends before that lived in this house, and she is just the ghost of this house. And so Laura is finding herself, and she's growing up, she's becoming a teenager, and just kind of, you know, growing apart from Alexa, and Alexa is trying to discover who she is. She like wants to stop being the ghost. She wants to stop haunting people, not haunting people, but she wants to stop being a ghost and living in the same house and just being like a mentor to these kids. She just wants to stop. Like, she doesn't want to be around anymore, and so she's trying to navigate that, but she's also trying to be there for Laura. And it's just a really hard-hitting, like, good story about childhood and, you know, never letting go of the inner child in you, but also learning to grow up and things like that. So I really enjoyed it. I'm sorry if I'm like tilted. I have this at a very weird angle, but I'm just trying to get through these without getting like my tripod out and stuff, because I don't want to. So the last book that I picked up over at Olivia's house was Ghosts by Raina Telgemeier, and this one was so good. I gave it a 4-star just because personally, it just, I mean, there was stuff happening, but just not a ton happening, and the artwork's not really my favorite, so that's why I gave it 4 stars, but it was still so good. You have these two sisters, Maya and Kat. I forgot, like, her real name is Katrina, I think. And Maya is the little sister and Kat is the older sister, and Maya has cystic fibrosis, and so their family ends up taking them to a town where it's supposed to be better air quality so that Maya doesn't have to struggle so much with her lungs and things like that. And Kat's not happy about the move, but she also understands because it's her sister, and Kat just has a hard time. Like, this book is surrounding ghosts. They, you know, are talking about Dia de los Muertos and the Day of the Dead, stuff like that, and they just are kind of coping with learning this town and what this town's about. And she meets this guy, and Maya loves this guy. He's like super fun, and he's Kat's age, and he has a crush on Kat, and it's just really, really cute. But it does get a little deep because Maya does take like a turn, but it just, I feel like this would be so helpful for people who are either struggling with a chronic illness or for people who are family members of a chronic illness person. It's just the best. So then I got home and I went to bed, and it was like 1 a.m. by the time I went to bed. So I read 5 graphic novels yesterday. So the goal is to see if I can read 5 today, and I've already read 1. So I have now finished my Let's Get Graphic Readathon TBR because I read Sheets by Brenna Thummler. This one was a 5-star read. The artwork in it and the colors are so pretty. So we're following our main character Marjorie, and her family owns this laundromat. Her mother recently passed away, and so she's kind of running the laundromat by herself. Her dad's not really there to help at all, and she's, you know, taking care of herself and her baby brother. And their laundromat is kind of in the works of maybe going downhill. So then we're also following Wendell, who is a ghost covered by a sheet, and he is an 11-year-old boy who drowned and died, and he's trying to find himself, and, you know, he doesn't belong with the ghost. He says he's just very out there. He's an 11-year-old boy, and he's just very sweet, but sometimes things that he does come across as not sweet. So he tries to help Marjorie after almost ruining one of, like, her customers, like basically losing a customer for her. He tries to help her get back her laundromat and keep it from being sold, and it's just a really hard-hitting story about grief and about people who have lost people in their life, and it's amazing. Everybody should check this out. But it is now 10:54, and Keisha and Gwen are doing sprints at 11, so in a few minutes they'll be doing sprints, and I think I'm going to pick up another graphic novel. I've read, like I said, all of my TBR so far, so I've read 6, and I'm going to try and see how many I can fit in today as well. Okay, you guys, it's been a day. It is now almost 3:30, and I just now finished my 7th graphic novel. I read Dancing at the Pity Party, and it's by Tyler Fetter, and it's a graphic novel memoir. There's a lot of words, so it was a lot to read, but it was a 5-star read. This book is about Tyler, obviously, and she lost her mom at like 19 years old, I think, and it's her and her family's journey with dealing with that and grief. It was a real hard-hitting graphic novel with really good messages and something that I definitely needed in my life. Olivia let me borrow her copy, so I'm gonna give it back to her next time I see her. But I really, really enjoyed it, and it was 5 stars. But I went to my cousin's baby shower, and then I came back, ate dinner, and got back to reading and finished that. Again, it's like 3:30ish now. I think I'm going to take a small, well, it's probably like 3:20 actually, so a little before 3:30, but I think I'm going to take a small break. My eyes needed a rest, and like my head, but I am actually going to try and read 3 more graphic novels today. So I finished, this was my 7th, and so I think if I get those, I'll have 10 graphic novels that I've read in 2 days, and I would be really happy with that. I've now been doing really good on my Goodreads goal with these graphic novels, because I'm now at 25 books out of the year, so my goal is 100, so I'm a quarter of the way through, and we're not even a quarter of the way through the year yet. Well, technically we are. The end of this month. Yeah, this month is the quarter of a year. Whatever. You know what I mean. But I'm really happy about it. Everything's going well. Keisha did sprints until like 3 o'clock my time, 2 o'clock her time. And she's going to hop back on and do some more sprints later on. So I'm going to watch those and get some more reading done. But I'm going to take a break for a little while and just relax. Maybe watch something on Netflix and just chill. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Okay guys, it is the next day, and I'm gonna update you guys on what I read yesterday. So we finished off with me on my 7th book, which was Dancing at the Pity Party, and I told you guys what this one was about. I really liked it, gave it 5 stars. So then by the time I finished that, it was probably like close to 5 o'clock. Well, probably closer to 4 o'clock actually. And then I started my 8th one, which was Unfamiliar by Haley Newsome. This one is so stinking cute. It has the funniest and like most erratic cast of characters in it, and it's about this kitchen witch Planchette, and she is, you know, she knows how to do magic with food, but she doesn't know how to do much else. And she moves into this house, and this house is haunted by ghosts, so she seeks out the help from other witches, and they help her in different ways, but she learns how to get rid of these ghosts. And apparently this is going to be a series of graphic novels, which I'm really, really excited about, because I think it would work really well. We would get to see more of the characters, more of the ghosts, and it was just really funny. They even had a like inside joke to a Studio Ghibli moment, and I won't tell you which one. You'll have to find out for yourself, but it was really adorable. I really enjoyed it, and I just can't recommend this enough. Olivia read this. A lot of people read this during the graphic novel, the Let's Get Graphic Readathon, and it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So I gave this a 5 star. So then around 5 o'clock, I ended up taking a nap because I was so tired. My eyes were hurting, and I think part of it is because of the pollen and the stuff. There was a lot of storms around us this weekend, kind of. There was a really big one, and so I think it washed up and got all the pollen moving. There was a lot of wind, and so I just felt like crap. My head was hurting, and there was a lot of pressure, and I think reading 5 graphic novels in a day kind of made my eyes hurt. So then I, read 3 the next day, and my eyes were still hurting, so I went and took a nap from 5 to 6, and then I finished up watching the show Servant that I'm watching on Apple TV, and I also finished watching the rest of Daisy Jones, and it was like 10:30 by that time, and I wasn't really tired, so I decided, you know what, instead of ending this readathon with 8 graphic novels, I'm gonna do 10, and I'm just gonna do it. So the next one that I read, which I will put up a picture here, is The Girl in the Glim by India Swift. It was super cute. So what I did was, instead of reading like an actual physical graphic novel, I read it on my phone, on my Kindle app, and this was actually on Kindle Unlimited, and so I used it and I read it. It's really, really cute. This little girl, or this girl is moving to a whole new town, and she's the new kid, and she gets picked on because of her size. She's like very short, and they pick on her, and she ends up coming across these alien type things that she calls Glims. And she also comes across this one that is like brighter and nicer and light, and she names it Glim. And so it's this girl and her Glim, and she and this Glim are working together to kind of fight these aliens and get them away, and it's just basically following her and her story. I thought it was really, really cute. The graphics and the artwork in it were really pretty. I really enjoyed it, and I think it has the potential of becoming a series. It was released in last year during the summer, so I'm hoping that that's what it's gonna come into, is that it's a series. But yeah, it was super cute and I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was like exactly what I needed. So that made graphic novel number 9. So then a lot of people were talking about the graphic novel Kodi by Jason Cullum, or Cullum, I think is how you say it actually. Kodi is about this girl Katya. She lives with her Mima she lives in Seattle with her Mima, but she moves to this like smaller town for the summer and stays there, and she has trouble making friends. She really reads a lot and she's very into herself, like just sticks to herself, and I related with her so much. But she finds this bear and he is hurt, and so she names him Kodi, and her Mima nurse him back to health basically. And then they have to leave and go back to Seattle, and she is very sad about it, and Kodi is sad. So Kodi sets out on this adventure to find Katya and kind of reunite with her, and it's just the sweetest thing. It has like watercolor graphics in it, and they were so pretty, and I just found myself like staring at the pages. It was not a long read at all, but I definitely got into the artwork. So I really enjoyed that one, and I gave it 4 stars. So I read a total of 10 graphic novels. I ended up with a total of 8 that were 5-star reads for me, and that was all of these, which are Dancing at the Pity Party, Hollow, Sheets, Be Prepared, Seance Tea Party, Unfamiliar, The Girl in the Glim, and then Lightfall, which I do not have with me because I lent it to Olivia when I went to her house the other day because I knew she had to read it. So I gave those all 5 stars. And then I rated Kodi and Ghosts 4 stars. So I think reading 10 graphic novels and having them all be 4 and 5 stars was amazing for me. I loved this readathon. It got me so in the mood for some short, easy reads, and I think it's best when we do that for ourselves, because sometimes you set these goals for yourself and you do feel like you're falling behind and you don't want to let yourself down in a way, and so graphic novels and manga are the perfect ways to catch up with yourself. Or if you're like me, the best time for me to read them is when I'm feeling kind of slumpy or not knowing what I want to read, and these are just the perfect thing for me to turn to just get a quick and easy read, and I don't have to think too much about it. They're just amazing. So I want to say a big thank you to Gwen and Keisha and Elizabeth for hosting this. It was amazing. I hope you guys continue to do this. It was just literally the perfect weekend, and that's all I can really say. But thank you guys so much for watching and seeing how many graphic novels I can fit in this 24 hours, basically 2-day period, and I'm so excited with how it turned out. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video.